Okay, take two. Hopefully this one will come through a little bit clearer. So this morning I wanted to chat a little bit about some books related to crystals. And so a lot of us are stuck at home at the moment. Hopefully you've been able to get out some and get outside. But I have been doing a lot of reading personally, and I always like to hear recommendations from other people on what they like to read. So I thought I would give a little bit of insight into some of my favorite crystal books. I'm probably going to do a live video on books about the chakras if you're interested in learning about the chakras. I have a lot of books on energy work and energy therapies, as well as some of the science behind our energy body and how energy moves through us and how energy moves around us. So I'm going to be doing a series, so stay tuned for some additional videos. But this morning, I wanted to chat a little bit about crystals. And so a lot of you, if you know me, you know that I'm partnered with a company called Vibes Up out in California. And so I have a little shop here in Winston-Salem, and I sell a lot of crystals. I use crystals around my house. I use crystals. I wear lots of therapeutic jewelry. And so I wanted to chat about some of the reference guides that I use for working with crystals. So some of my favorite authors, there's a woman named Melody, and this is a huge reference guide. It is Love is in the Earth, Kaleidoscope of Crystals. And so this is kind of an A to Z guide of hundreds of different types of crystals. Their mineral content, I'll give you a little look. So it's Love is in the Earth. And I don't know if that's showing up in reverse. Since I'm in selfie mode, I'm really kind of having to learn a lot of the technology behind all this. So this book is great. It gives an A to Z guide of what the crystal is, its physical properties. So it's going to give you some of the mineral content, as well as some of the more energetic properties. So say you're looking to protect from negativity, so you could use something like tourmaline or amethyst. So Melody writes a lot of different books, a lot of different reference guides. You can find them online. Another one of her books that I love to use is the Love is in the Earth on the Laying on of Stones. And so I've kind of transitioned recently from the Vibes Up shop to more of an all-encompassing workshop space where I do crystal grids for people and a lot of education about how to use them around your house. And so this book is by, again, the same woman. Her name is Melody. And this is actually a crystal grid book. And so I'm going to show you an example of some of the images that are in this book. And so this gets pretty esoteric. You can actually get into some of the zodiac symbols and how if you're looking to work with your particular sign, you can use the crystals in a particular grid around the body. You can grid your house in a particular way, especially if you have any geopathic stress. You can use crystals to kind of move the energy in a more coherent fashion around your house, much like feng shui. So that's another great book, is the Laying on of Stones, if you're looking for crystals, grids, and how to use them on and around the body. Now this is a great one. This is a real small one. This is kind of a pocket guide. It's called Crystal Prescriptions. And so this is the A to Z guide of over 1,000 different symptoms and their healing crystals. And so while obviously this is not a substitution for any medical recommendations, it does give different issues that we may be struggling with, whether it's digestive problems or maybe sleep problems or something like that. And it's going to give you guidance on how you can use them by making, say, a crystal tincture, by setting your water out in the sunlight with crystals around it, or maybe you want to wear a crystal on a particular area of the body. And so I like to think about crystals almost like, well, they're not supplements, obviously you're not taking them internally, but each one has a specific unique vibration. And so our bodies, as our bodies are all energy down to the core on a quantum level, we can use these crystals. Each one has different properties on the physical level and the energetic level. So using them on and around you can be very therapeutic. So I'll show you a picture from this book of this gives a great idea. This is just the chakras and how you can actually place the crystals over your chakras to do more of a chakra balancing. And that's a very common, easy way. It's something you can do at home by yourself. You don't necessarily have to have other people helping you lay a big grid around you or anything like that. You can just use the crystals as each chakra works with a different color, different sound. There are also crystals and essential oils that correlate to each chakra that you can use. Let's see. So we have our crystal prescription book. Let's see. Obviously, I have lots of books on this topic. Let's see. We have Healing with Crystals. This is a really cool one. It actually gets, so this is, let's see, Healing with Crystals and Chakra Energies. And so this one actually gets into the specific chakras. So it's going to go bit by bit through the different chakras in the body and talk you through multiple crystals that resonate with each chakra. Hey, Mom. And so like this is a good example. Amethyst is great for the crown chakra. And so it'll give you a picture or an image of a woman or a man, depending on what particular page it's on, and how you could use that particular crystal as you grid around the body. So this is so for this crown chakra, I recommend something like amethyst, fluorite, sugilite. And another really cool part, this is one of the, I'm sure there's lots of books that have these different recommendations, but this book actually gets into the chemical formula of each particular stone. So I actually think that's pretty fascinating when you can learn about the different silica content. You can learn about the crystal system, whether it's trigonal, tetragonal, hexagonal, and that way, you know, when you get into the different energetics of the stones, you can learn a little bit more about how they work through the body. So again, this is an excellent book on learning about all the different chakras and the crystals that resonate with each one. Next one, this is a little bit older book. I used to work at a place called Integrative Life Solutions. We had lots of great tools and reference guides, and so I was gifted the store copy of this book. It's by Jane Hightower, and it's called Stone Empowerment. And this is actually one of the first books that I ever really dug in deeply into about stones. And so it gets into different types of quartz, and I mean many stones, but different types of quartz and their different shapes. It gets into the animals that are related to each particular crystal, the birthstone, the chakra that the crystal is related to, color, composition. So this one lists composition as well, much like the previous one I listed. And the hardness, and then the healing use. It gets into the physical properties of the stone. For different types of physical healing, it gets into emotional and mental properties of the stone and how it could help you through different thought patterns, different traumas, as well as the spiritual uses of the stone. And in the back of this book, there's probably 30 or 40 different pages of conditions A to Z. And if you're struggling with, say, arthritis or digestion problems, anxiety, inflammation, it gives you a list of the stones that are related to that particular disease pattern. And just know that I'm not saying that they treat. This is just working with the harmonics within the body and the vibration of the body to help remind the body how to come back to balance on its own, because our bodies are innately intelligent. And when we're given the proper information, or that proper information signal within our biofield, our body can come back to balance or resonance on its own. So again, Stone Empowerment, great book by Jane Hightower. I think she has some other books out there, but I really, really love her stuff. And a couple of older books. Again, I was gifted some of these older books, which is kind of cool because some of these you can't find anymore. If you're a fan of Edgar Cayce, he has done a lot of channeling on different things. And so he talks, this is a great book. It's a little small reference guide. It's on the power of not only stones, so it's on the power of color, stones, and crystals. And this book gets into how you can use different colors to help heal parts of the body, whether it's the laying of a particular color cloth on an area of the body, or maybe you want to imprint some water or drink out of a particular glass that is a particular color, because our body and our brain, as we see those signals, it's sending a signal throughout the rest of the body to help bring coherence. Again, this Edgar Cayce book is great, and it's called On the Power of Colors, Stones, and Crystals. And then the final book that I have, and there are hundreds of great books on crystals, and these are just the ones that I have a physical copy of. And typically, if I'm looking to work on a particular issue, I'll look through these books, or I might Google, and you can also learn about that as well. So this is a really unique one. It's the American Indian Secrets of Crystal Healing. It's by Luc I'm sure I'm going to botch the name. Luc, L-U-C, Bourgault. And this gets into the American Indian traditions and how they used to use stones. And so all different cultures have their particular interpretation of stones and how they use them, but they were all unique in their own way and had their own intelligent way of interpreting the vibrations in their area and where they lived and of the earth. And so I love to learn about different histories and different cultures and how they use their stones. And so we can all glean information from that and use it in a helpful way. So that's just a quick rundown of some of my favorite crystal books. If you have any great recommendations that I should check out, please feel free to leave some comments on the video. I love learning, and I think these reference guides are great. We can all learn from one another, and maybe I'll do some videos of some of the crystal grids that I've done. I love to grid and charge water, and I do all kinds of grids around our house, and thankfully our dog doesn't like to eat gemstones, because I put them in our rooms in the different corners, some tourmaline and some clearing stuff. Crystals are also great for EMF. They can help, I don't say necessarily protect, but they can help harmonize your body from EMF exposure and create or strengthen your biofield. So I thank you all for joining in, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.